Hey guys, Grim here with a short guide slash walkthrough on the Abyssal version of the dungeon Altar of Blood. Bosses are quite similar to their normal version, but everything hits harder and have additional effects. I would say that the most difficult boss is actually the first one, so if you defeat him, it's relatively easy going forward. So the first transition phase as always starts at around 85% of boss's HP. You want to pull all the zombies and as quickly as possible, kill the greater zombie, because if he's still alive during the normal phase, that might be a problem. So other than that, just pay attention to the slimes and just avoid the explosion. Here I'm dying 2 times actually on this fight on this phase during the fight. I wasn't paying attention, so that's bad. Like, we have 2 people actually dying here. Overall, this run was very sloppy, especially the first boss. At a certain point, we actually were deciding between resetting it and using the only scroll. But I think that's fine. It shows run closer to what you would expect in the pugs, so I think this is more authentic. Not showing the perfect runs. So when boss reappears after a certain time, he will summon the Watchers, same as in normal version. You can take different approaches here, but I would suggest just grouping at one place and killing the Watchers one by one. The boss will be in place for quite some time, and you have the time to kill at least 1 or 2 Watchers. And then when boss starts moving again, the person who has the aggro should face him away from the group, so the group can kill the rest of the Watchers. One important difference between normal and abyssal also, when he does his ability where he pulls everybody to himself, you need to do 2 dashes, and then he goes to one target and tries to suck the life out of him. You need to do 2 dashes. We'll show that later on. Just do 2 dashes and you'll be fine. You'll have enough time to dodge when he goes towards you. So again, on 50% of the boss, it will go to second transitionary phase. Again, focus the zombies and try to not get blown up by the slimes. Here I have actually, again, as you can see, I don't have enough time to pass, so I'm not paying enough attention. And at this point, we had 3 people dead, very poorly played the transition phase. So we're actually discussing the wipe, but we decided to go through. And as you can see on the boss, there are now 3 stacks. Every stack increases his damage. He's got his stacks from this ability where he pulls everybody and then tries to sock them. So that's another, basically you're gonna have 2 of these phases where the eye is gonna appear, because 3rd time you're just gonna kill the boss straight up. So you need to survive these phases 2 times during the fight. So yeah, just try to take as little damage as possible. If you did take the damage, use the potion, use consumable, and try to clear the Watchers as fast as possible. Priest with the shields, that's the ability. Just do 2 dodges, and if he goes towards you, so you have enough time to play the mini game and dodge without giving the boss any stacks and taking any damage. The third transition phase starts at 15%. At this phase, you can not pull, if you can, don't pull the greater zombie, just pull the small ones. You can kill those fast, because you don't even need to kill anything on this phase, because when the boss reappears, he's gonna have like 12% HP. So you're just gonna burst him down, and that's it. You don't pay attention to zombies, you don't pay attention to when the eye's gonna appear, because at like 3% who gives a damn, right? So you're just gonna burst him through. Just pop everything and finish him. The second boss is very similar to his normal version. It's just the main difference is that poison ticks harder, and some abilities give you minus heal debuff, which means you cannot be healed fully with a good efficiency. And priests shields are OP in this fight because they just mitigate the poison. So as usual, from time to time he will choose the target and spit in that direction. You can take 2 approaches. You can either move a little bit and try to not cover the full land, full boss room, or you can just you're gonna see it later also, like there is a mark, right, and then the berserker goes as far as possible from the boss, and poison actually doesn't go that far. As you can see, it goes for like half of the room, so that's fine. Again, just try to avoid as many damage as possible. Don't screw up the mark. Basically the outcome of your fight depends on how well do you actually lay down the poison. Sometimes he will do the ability where he put his hands on the ground, right, and the pile of poison will appear, and the one guy, he will be like stuck in it within the mini game. There is not enough time to like finish this mini game, so the only way you can do is pop some sort of defensive or get the priest shield, just something that will give you enough time to survive to play the mini game. Same as in the normal, as you saw now. If he's like spitting onto the mark and the mark dies, he will continue spitting to somebody else. He has 4 spits, so if the mark dies during those 4 spits, on first, second or third spit, the next spits he will still do 4 in total, and the next spits would go onto the other person, different person. So overall, not very a difficult boss. The last boss is a lot more RNG dependent, like who gets spikes, like where he decides to use his abilities. So the person with spikes, just you don't need to move much, just place the puddle on the ground, move a little bit, because if you move more than the minimum amount, you will start taking bleeding damage and you will bleed out very fast. So overall, this fight is just about basically avoiding the damage as much as possible. Try to avoid the damage. If you get into sticky situation, don't hesitate to pop your potion. It's very important to stay healthy during this fight. And obviously don't miss the puddles when they appear. So the most problematic in this fight is when his abilities overlapping. Like, for example, somebody got the spikes and then he pulls everybody and you have to play the mini game, etc, etc. Also, he will periodically, I think 2 out of 5 people will start spotting the puddles where they go. So pay attention to that also. I think it's like 3 puddles, around 5 seconds in between. So pay attention to that. Obviously try, as I said, dodge everything, do as much damage as possible. He will do like this ability pretty much always. That's the frontal cone. He's doing spikes on me again. I'm trying not to move, but if he casts something my way, I have to move. See, this way shield actually saved me, because without shield I would be dead, most likely. He does this ability where it's like a frontal cone, but also you cannot stand too close to him, like this ability. You cannot stand too close to him because you will also take damage and be pulled back, knocked back. So the puddles, when the puddles appear, it's very important to clear them all, because if you don't, the ads will spawn, and those ads, they're very fat. So like killing them is a problem. Like your best bet would be, well, depending on current burst HP percentage, obviously, but usually your best bet would be to just hit the boss, kite the dogs, and cleave them with the boss if possible. If you try to just go for the dogs, that's not very efficient. As you can see, I'm spawning puddles. I haven't noticed the first time. Yeah, it's 3 puddles, and then you stop and you can actually do something else. As I said, this is heavily RNG dependent. We haven't done too many runs on it, but sometimes it goes like really bad and sometimes it goes super well. So that's it for me. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.